it's a plot to drop the IQ. Fighting amongst each other over rumors that don't like you. Prefer us trapped in melancholy with the wood ones of holly. Suggestions that obliterate to camouflage the folly. Attempted mental robbery, executed softly. The hypocrisy, this mockery, and walk the talk with me. Put the hands up to touch the Akasha, cause you know deep down there's something bigger than your wallet.
Sweet eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful, friends. Welcome back to Middle Path. Every Thursday we get into some kind of spiritual shenanigans, learning about the ancient traditions, the ancient ways, the enlightened ones, the magical numbers, all the stuff, all the things are here on Middle Path. And I love to come and hang out with you guys on Thursdays to do Middle Path. Of course, it is a supporter-only show, so if you're watching this anywhere else, listening to it anywhere else, you are not going to get the content unless you are a supporter on subscribestar.com/rogue-ways, on rogue.locals.com, which is probably the best place to do it, or on rockfin.com. Okay, that's the best place to do it. rockfin.com/rogue-ways. Yep, that's it. That's the place. If you become a supporter through my channel, that is fantastic. If you're already a supporter through anyone else's channel, you get everybody on Rockfin's exclusive content for one same price a month. You're going to pay that price either way, so you may as well get everyone's. So it's nice if you want to support there. Plus, after Middle Path, most Thursdays, we do a hangout. So you get to come hang out with us on Zoom if you like to. You don't have to. Some people have their video on, some don't. Some have their audio on, some don't. Some people are just there with their video off, audio off, listening, sometimes chatting along in the chat there. And it is unscripted, unrecorded, and just fun. It's just a nice place to come be ourselves and connect. So it's actually a relief. I really enjoy it. I know everyone who comes to hang out really enjoys it too. Hopefully we'll see you there. Hopefully you become a supporter if you aren't already. Of course, Rogueways could always use your support. Middle Path could always use your support. So if you're not, now's the time to do it and come hang out with us. All right, we got a good amount of people in the chat over on Rockfin. I should say just in watching over on Rockfin. Not everyone has said hello yet, but Dakota has. What's up, Dakota? Nice to see you. And a couple people in the other places. I don't think I'm banned anywhere but Facebook right now. Of course, they love to get me. Maybe you're all familiar with the Asian woman who tells you not to have things. Everyone went crazy about her for a while. She like unclutters your house. I don't know her name. I don't care about her. She's probably red. I don't care. I already am uncluttered enough. My constant moving throughout life has helped me to rid myself of all things that are not absolutely essential. And then I slowly gather them again, and then I move again, and then I get rid of them all again. So I rarely have many things. And I live in a very small house, which also helps me be very specific about what I do have. So I've already got that down, but apparently she made a big string. Anyways, there was just a random post on Facebook, and it was just her saying, you know, at all times, have less than 30 books. And my comment on that post was, who is this psycho? Burn her. Clearly a joke. I clearly don't think that woman should be burned. I also don't think she's a psycho. I just thought it was funny, right? Because who doesn't need more than 30 books? Hello. I think a lot of people have said similar things like, who needs this negativity? Get this woman out of your life and all that because it's just funny. But no, I got a 30-day ban for that. So that is a 30-day bannable offense on Facebook, and now I'm no longer allowed to interact with my peers. You should probably shun me if you're listening to or watching this because I am pure evil incarnate, and I will taint you and drag you down, according to Facebook. And Big Brother knows best, so we should probably just all bow down and take the decree that I am an unwanted one, an unworthy one, and everybody should just move along. So if you're my Facebook friend, sorry I won't see you for 30 days because I made a joke. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about the binary delusion and that what actually exists is a trinity or a quaternity or more. And we're just going to dive into some of those numbers and things. Again, we've been on a number kick here on Middle Path. We talked about 144,000. We talked about the number 108 and how they have both sacred importance and meaning. And now we're going to talk about the numbers 2 and 3 and more. And this is my site, but I just want to point out this is Bryce Canyon. All the pictures that you see on my site, I should say 99% of them. Sometimes I borrow a picture for certain things like this, from a soulful nurse. That's not my picture, for example. But the pictures at the top, most of the photography you see on my site are all my own pictures. And this is Bryce Canyon. And Bryce Canyon is amazing. I did a Utah tour in, what was that? 2013, 14 maybe? I'm not really sure. But me and my best friend went and rented a car and flew into Salt Lake and drove all the way around Utah, hitting every national and state park that we could. Goblin Valley State Park was one of my favorites. Bryce Canyon was one of my favorites. Zion is a fucking nightmare. Like an absolute fucking nightmare. I wanted to die. Zion is horrifying. The place is beautiful. But holy shit, talk about like way too many people and way too small of a space. It's not camping. You're just like tent next to tent next to tent. Like, it's horrifying. I really hated Zion. Again, the place is gorgeous. I'm sure it's way cooler when no one's there. It's like way too many people. Anyway, so I like that picture. I wanted to point that out. And of course, if you didn't know, on my site, you can now find the key of transformational healing channeled straight from our spiritual ancestors to you. Very inspirational, very profound, very deep and moving, and also a fantastic guide to understand yourself, the components of you, and how to continuously make positive spiritual growth. This picture you see now at the top is Mount Adams in Oregon. It literally looks like I'm just floating above the clouds, but I was just standing on another mountain looking at that mountain. I also want to point out something really beautiful and fun. If you click on Shop Orgone and Books, there's a few other things here, like the Brighter You 6-week course is here, as well as the meditations that are twice a week, Sundays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. If you want to join us, we just started April. We've had 2 meditations so far in April, and it's $45 a month now. It's very affordable. But also, all the new Orgone is up. So when you scroll down far enough, you'll see all the lotuses. These are lotus votives, so they're a votive candle size. You can also use a tea light if you like. They all have a minimum of 4 layers, and some of them have just the most stunning components. They're all gorgeous. They're all one-of-a-kind pieces of art, but as you know, they're also Orgone accumulators. So if you would love a boost in your space of Orgone, which is the life force, chi, prana, spirit, whatever you like to call it, in addition to picking one of these that calls to you, they all call to their owners, so maybe one of them is yours, then you'll see which extra added components they also hold depending on the metal, copper, gold, or silver, depending on the flowers and leaves and plants that are in them. Sometimes eucalyptus, aster flower, lily, rose, bear grass, xanadu leaves, all kinds of stuff I like to choose from. And depending which crystals. So the Rainbow Warrior here, of course, is one of the favorites because it has 6 different crystals and many different plants to make a rainbow of powerhouse. Like, it can do anything. It's an amazing piece. But each of them has their own sort of signature and beauty. I also have these 2 towers that I made, these pillars, I should say. And they're pretty stunning as well. Now that they're up on the site, they're here and they're available for you. These were available at the shows I did the last few weeks, and this is what's left over basically from those shows. So I know one lucky lover of Rogueways and Middle Path got one of these pillars, so he's out there using it, and he got it for a steal. But these are also available, so that's all on the site, and you can go grab any of that now, as well as if you're interested in any of the spiritual healing and support I offer, you can click on Shop Spiritual Healing and Support, and it will bring you to the page where you can book that. Another beautiful shot. All these beautiful places I've been able to go in my life. So I do blessings, I do life path tarot readings, I do guidance sessions, which are meant intentionally to be flexible for whatever you need. Maybe you need some guidance, like what's next for me on my spiritual path, or how do I deal with this thing that I'm facing right now? Here's some experiences I've had, like what do they mean, or what should I be doing about them? And sometimes we can also get messages from your allies and your guides and see what they have to say about some things too. So any questions you want to bring, guidance sessions are good for all of that. The healing ceremony in session is for the deep, deep healing. It's a big a big dose of transformation for you. I do sound healing, full tuning and alignment, and the mini tuning alignment, and of course a little mini reading for those of you who just want to see a few cards. So those are all available as well. And before we are going to jump into the content here, and I'll share one little tiny dose of it. You may not think it relates to the numbers 2 and 1 and the Trinity and the duality that we're going to be talking about today. But in case you didn't know, this is a real story. This is not in any way satire. This is in Palm Springs. Palm Springs moves ahead with the Universal Income Pilot Program for transgender, non-binary residents. That's right. Transgender, non-binary residents will now receive money every month for what? For being transgender or non-binary. So if you didn't think there was an agenda to push people towards identifying as and accepting themselves as transgender or non-binary, I would say that this points to that agenda. There's no better way to get someone to say they're transgender or non-binary than to say to them, we'll pay you every month just for saying so, just for being that. And, you know, they make some points. They're not untrue that transgender and non-binary people do have often a lower employment rate, a higher mental illness rate, a higher, sometimes, depending on how you're looking at it, a higher abuse or, violent crime rate that they experience. That one's actually highly contentious. You can look at these statistics in many ways, and you can aggregate them and disaggregate them in many ways that may point to other things going on than the transgenderism and the non-binaryism being the primary cause of any of those things I just listed. But you could also look and say that it seems true to you, and so you should pay these people because they suffer, I guess. So I'm not saying they don't. A lot of people do. I actually don't know anyone who doesn't. So that's interesting to look at. And we're actually going to talk more about that in the next screen. But if I showed you the next screen before canceling YouTube or the other places this is playing, then my show would get canceled in general. My whole channel would be deleted. So I'm not going to show you the next screen and tell you the things that we have to say about this. I'm not going to share that anywhere but on Rockfin, where the family already is gathered and where we can speak freely, be ourselves, and not be censored for our ideas or for the content we are sharing, as well as this show really is for just supporters anyway. So I would already be switching over to that for them. So if you want to, you can click below you. The link, no matter where you're watching or listening, will take you to Rockfin. And if you'd like to sign up today, then you can become a supporter and you can get mine and a whole heap of other people's exclusive content for one price a month. Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye to Marker 113, Bobby T, One Shot, and whoever else happens to be watching in all the other places. I will see you guys later.